Welcome back to Out with the New, In with the Old. And today, good cars can go bad. This is getting more and more common, and it's sad because there's so many cars out there that can just go hundreds of thousands of miles, but they get into their fifth, sixth, seventh owners, and these are cars that have reputations for being excellent cars. And somebody will get a hold of it and, oh yeah, it's one of these, it'll last. And they just don't think they have to do anything to it. And those cars get a reputation because they were, able to be taken care of and last. They got to be taken care of just like any other vehicle. Your Honda Accords, your Toyota Camrys, your Mercury, Panther platform Fords, uh, your 3800 powered General Motors vehicles. I personally have seen a Park Avenue with 140,000 miles on it with a rod knock. I've seen a friend of mine bought a Mercury Marquis with about 160,000 on it, and it ended up with a rod knock and several other things wrong with it. I've seen an Accord just get clean run out of oil. I mean, and that was the end of it. I went and looked at a Camry that I know was let to run out of antifreeze, and they advertised it as, oh, nothing wrong with it. And I went there and I opened the hood. And first thing, I smell a bunch of antifreeze. I look over at the antifreeze bottle. There's nothing in it. And I notice it's shaking a little while it's idling. I'm like, hey, this car doesn't have any antifreeze. Oh, really? Yeah. I said, anyway, it's common with these really good vehicles that they get neglected. I think the first two, three, maybe fourth owner, takes care of them well. And then they get cheaper and people buy them. And it's their reputation that actually hurts them because people get a mindset like, I can do whatever with this car, and you can't. They all have something that has to be taken care of at some point. And what happens, say with one of the V6 problems is the intake manifold. The gasket will go bad, and it starts leaking a little. And, oh yeah, they find out how much it's going to cost. And this is common on the 3.4 General Motors engine too, the one that's in my minivan. Great engine. I see on the forums with the minivans, tons of them hitting 300,000. But that 3.4 will get an intake manifold gasket leak. And what happens is a little antifreeze gets in the valley of the engine and it gets in the oil. And that's why I say you notice this, fix it right away. Because what happens is you dilute your oil over time, and oh yeah, I'll get it fixed next week. I'll get it fixed next week. Keep putting it off. Keep diluting your oil. Before you know it, your bearings are getting burned up. And hence a rod knock. I mean, it something small. And if you had to pay somebody to do it, it may not seem like a small deal to you. Somebody may charge you $600, $700, $800 to do it, but it'll keep the vehicle alive, indefinitely, as long as you keep an eye on things. And if you got a vehicle for $2,000, $3,000, and you got to put 600, 700 in it to keep it going, you're still way ahead. Rather than drive it until you ruin it, then you're starting from scratch again. A lot of these vehicles will go 300,000 as long as you stay on top of everything. It's just, don't let that reputation of that vehicle being one of the great ones make you think I can let stuff go, because you can't. You will cause mechanical damage, and it'll be the end of that great vehicle. That could have been great if it just got fixed. Um, I see it all the time, and it seems to be, when you see an Accord, a Camry, a 3.8 General Motors or LS engine, or a powered pickup, or a Panther platform Ford, Crown Vic, Mercury Marquis, Lincoln, town car. You see one of them and they got problems, it's because people let stuff go on them. They all require repairs. Doesn't matter what vehicle it is. Uh, they all have things that goes wrong with them. And when they go wrong, you got to fix them as soon as you can. I just wanted to put that out there for, when you're looking at these vehicles. And also, if you have one of these vehicles, when you're looking at them, do your due diligence. Make sure they've been maintaining it. Make sure, and when you look up, if you do look up, your car, say you're going to look at one, look up the reliability. And usually when you look up the reliability, they'll tell you what goes wrong with them. And see if that's been addressed. If it hasn't, it's probably going to happen to you. If it has, it's probably good. Like with the 3.4 and the minivan, there's a better gasket that goes in there, and pretty much it'll never happen again if you use that better gasket. And that's the case with a lot of them. That when you repair them, there's something better. 3.8 General Motors engines, I call them Buick engines because that's really what they are. They have plastic fittings on the intake that, when they get old, tend to split and leak coolant. And the replacement is metal fittings. So you fix it, it never happens again. There's a lot of things like that. My Ford here, it's not a mechanical issue. My F-150, my 2000, that's what's neat about these old vehicles too. That's what I like about, especially when you stick with mainstream vehicles. I mean, I don't know about, the high-end cars. If there's ways around fixing things on them, there probably is, but it's really easy on Fords, General Motors, Dodge, Chrysler, because there's usually a better part out there. I just finished fixing the doors on this truck. On the back, it's an extra cab, and the back doors have cables, and on the ends of the cables, I would have saved them, but I had to kind of mutilate them to get them off, so they're in the garbage. But they have plastic ends that go into a holder, and then the end of the cable goes into the mechanism. And the plastic falls apart. I mean, the truck's 26 years old. It took a long time for it to happen. And they fell apart on one side, and I drove it around with one door on the back, and well, it happened on the other door. And I said, okay, now I got to fix it. I don't have any doors to get back there. And I was going to just buy the cables. It was, two cables on each side. One goes to the upper latch and one goes to the lower latch. And I said, I'm going to look at YouTube, see what these guys do. And the cables were like $28, $29 for all of it. And I was like, that's not bad, And people said, no, don't replace the cables. Get these, they're made by Dorman. Dorman makes a lot of this stuff. And you use the cable you got, and the cables don't get damaged. You get the old plastic ends off, and you got these aluminum ends that go on and fit on there real nice and tight, just like the originals. And they all snap into place. Well, now you got aluminum on each end of the holding the cable in place. It'll never have a problem. I'll show you one of the doors. It's kind of neat. It's a But I mean, these doors wouldn't open. And there we are. We're all fixed up. And grab the inside latch. So it's kind of neat. Pretty happy about that. And by the way, the doorman part, it's $15 at O'Reilly's. But I got them online, same doorman part number, for $4. Now I had to pay shipping, so it was like $14, but that was for both sides, and both sides at O'Reilly's would have been 30 because it was 15 and 15, and I did both sides. So all the cable ends are brand new, and it's fixed up indefinitely because the parts were better than the original. And that's the case with a lot of these repairs. You may have to do a repair, but there's usually something out there that's better to make it where you don't have to do that repair again. So, but my main thing is here, I just want people to be aware when you're looking at these nice cars, these Accords, Camrys, and I know there's others, but these are the ones with the reputations that are being bulletproof, and the LS powered Chevy pickups, and they are bulletproof, but they do need repairs. And if you do let them go, you will wreck the vehicle. I mean, you can't just neglect them. They need their maintenance. When they need something done, you got to fix it. So keep that in mind. And don't think that just because you got one of the good ones, and don't think that just because you're going and looking at one of the good ones, it's going to be good. Because it could be bad if it hasn't been taken care of. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you like the content.